Okay, now let's talk about Kohberger, because the stuff on him is just chilling. Incredibly, we have now seen a photo, okay, that's been released of Brian Kohberger. They say this was taken from his own phone, all right? They've revealed now that the state intends to introduce a photograph of Brian Kohberger. It's a selfie that he took from his own phone the night of the murders, the morning after. Oh my God, look at it. The murders took place between 4 and 4:17 a.m. In the early morning hours of November 13th. This is from 11:30 a.m. This would have been 6 hours after he allegedly committed quadruple murder, which he denies. He looks bloodless. He looks like a vampire with no color whatsoever in his face. He looks gaunt, and he is giving the thumbs up sign. What in the hell is this, Howard?
Hey, what the defense is going to say, you look at him, he might look gaunt, he might look like a vampire, but you don't see any blood, and you don't see any blood in his bathtub behind him, and you don't see any blood on the shower curtain. They're going to say, if he is the murderer, where was the blood? And the prosecution at the same time introduced that photo to show his bushy eyebrows that Dylan Mortensen, when she made the identification of the intruder.
Let's put it back up there. I hadn't been looking at it for that purpose, but yes, it does show some bushy eyebrows. Keep going.
And that's what they're going to say. But also look at his knuckles. Do they seem sort of red? I don't know. I was trying to look at it closely, but other than him is looking like a really weird countenance, but there's no crime to be weird. You don't see any blood. You don't see any scratches on him. And again, that bathroom curtain in the background. When the police go to his apartment, when they have the search warrant after his arrest, there's no bathroom curtain there. They make a point of that. So clearly, if this was his bathroom...
It's got Psycho vibes. It's definitely got Psycho vibes from the movie Psycho. In the shower, right?
Yeah.
You're
right, yes.
The guy committed a murder with a knife. Like, he's wearing all white. It's buttoned up to the top. It almost feels like a murderer trolling us. And we know from the police affidavit, Howard, that this would have been taken about an hour after he went back to, if the cops' theory of the case is right, based on police data and cell phone data, he went back to the site of the murders around 9:30 in the morning and apparently checked on the scene. And we know now, of course, nothing was happening at the scene at that time. Inside, the girls may have been texting, but the police had not yet been alerted. And look at him. Then he appears to have gone back home, gone into his bathroom, and taken this bizarre selfie.
It's extremely disturbing and disquieting. At the same time, both the defense and the prosecution are going to be able to use that photograph for their own purposes. Again, the defense will make the case, no blood, no scratches, nothing to hide, no crime to be weird. And the prosecution is going to say, look at the bushy eyebrows, and they might even try to raise the question of the thumbs up. What's he giving a thumbs up for?
Mm-hmm. So that, I can't stop looking at it. This is just so deeply disturbing. But that's not the worst thing that's happened to Brian Kohberger over the past couple of years as the case against him has been developed. This may be. I mean, you and I have talked many times about what we think of the evidence, and I think we both think one of, if not, well, they're two most problematic things. The DNA on the knife sheath, which has been affirmatively linked to it is Brian Kohberger's, and also the fact that when they arrested him at his parents' home in the Poconos a few weeks later, he was stuffing his trash into little Ziploc baggies with the intention of disposing it, we believe, into the neighbor's trash, which is what he'd been doing, according to the cops, over the past few nights. So those are bad facts for him. But so is the latest data on the K-bar knife. They've never found the murder weapon. They found the knife sheath in the bed with the two girls, Kaylee and Maddie. And it had touch DNA on the knife snap, the snap of the sheath, which they then linked, thanks to genetic genealogy trees, back to the father of Brian Kohberger, which is then what got them to Brian Kohberger, who was only 10 miles away. And then once they got him in custody, they did an affirmative DNA test of his cheek swab, and that was 100% plus whatever the numbers are. They're astronomically in the favor of it being him and his DNA on that knife sheath snap. But now they are revealing that they may not have found the murder weapon, Howard, but they certainly found some incriminating things on Brian Kohberger's Amazon.
Yes. I mean, Brian Kohberger bought a knife just like the one that was used or left behind at the murder scene with the knife sheath with the Marine insignia, a K-bar knife, in March, before he even came out to Washington State University. That would suggest that when he drove across country that summer with his father, he had the knife and a sharpening tool he'd also bought, packed up in his belongings, taking out to Washington State for whatever reason. And he wasn't a hunter. There's no evidence that he ever went hunting. What also has been revealed is that after the murders, and the knife has now disappeared, his Amazon account, or the account that's shared by Kohberger and his family members, he was clicking on other knives as if to purchase them again. The defense is going to say that the Amazon algorithm just sends you there. If you bought a knife in the past, they'll send you there again. But buried in the prosecution's filings is they're saying that they're going to have a witness. They mentioned that just yesterday, who's going to testify to him having possession of a K-bar knife. Will this be a family member? I found that sort of interesting. Could a family member be going to the stand to testify against Bryan?
Wow. I mean, they would feel an obligation, I think, to do it. I just feel like the whole country has, been interested in this case. These family members, the sister in particular, I think there are two sisters, I just feel like they'd have to do what's right if they knew it, but we'll find out. The thing about Amazon is just so fascinating. So what we're saying is, they had not been made public until now.
One of the sisters I just found out, is writing a book, which is sort of interesting.
What?
Yes.
Oh my God. Oh, well, she's welcome to come on the Megyn Kelly Show to promote it, because I'd love to ask her some questions.
She can't publish until the gag order is lifted, but she's writing away from what I hear. I've been told from reliable sources.
Well, so it's very interesting that he would have potentially gone back on Amazon searching for another K-bar knife and knife sheath. You could go many directions with that. Like he lost the knife sheath and didn't have the knife anymore because he disposed of it. It was the murder weapon. And therefore, in case the police ever came knocking, he wanted to have that knife that they would see in his Amazon history he purchased back in March before he got there, still sitting in his room without any traces of blood on it. See, I'm a good little boy. I still have my knife, and it's not anybody's murder weapon. Or you could make the case he had more murders in store that he considered.
That's the chilling hypothesis that the prosecution, I think, is going to try to make. And that's how they're going to justify any shortcuts that were taken in this case. We had to move quickly. Here we had a murderer they're going to allege, who was ready to kill again.
What was do you remember the time frame off the top of your head where he started to search for a new Amazon, on Amazon for a new K-bar knife?
It's days after the murders, within 24 hours or so.
Oh my God, that's chilling.
Interesting, too. You mentioned the IgG, the genetics genealogy, how that was a key part of the case before. Well, the defense, Kohberger's defense is now would concede that was Brian Kohberger's DNA on the knife sheath. The real question now, and what's going to be the focus of this trial, is how did the knife sheath get there? The defense is going to claim that Brian Kohberger was never in the house. He didn't put it there. The real perpetrators put that knife sheath there, and somehow they had gotten Kohberger's DNA on it.
You don't go out and buy a life jacket when the boat is already sinking, and you don't buy gold when the economy has already collapsed. Clearly, others are heeding this advice as gold hit all-time highs already this year. It's not too late for you too, and you could have Birch Gold help you diversify into physical gold. Birch Gold specializes in helping you convert an existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA in physical gold for no money out of pocket. One recent 5-star review said Birch Gold was, quote, knowledgeable, helpful, non-pressure. Get your free info kit on gold by texting the letters MK to the number 989898. There's no obligation, just useful information. With an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau and countless 5-star reviews, just text MK to 989898 and let the experts at Birch Gold help you secure your future today with gold. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.